welcome to this episode of Monica's Place. We're here camping at Waberman Provincial Park, and on this episode we're going to go green. I'm going to show you how you can scrapbook using some recycled items, so please stay tuned. To create this recycled journal from a phone book, the supplies you're going to need are an old phone book, a ruler, some glue stick, and a couple of colors of acrylic paint. What you're first going to do is use your ruler as your guide and just tear the pages out. Our phone books here aren't the big huge size, but any size will do. Just tear the pages out. You will need to glue 6 pages together to create one page. Use the phone book cover as well, as it will become the new cover of your new recycled journal. Now you are ready to paint each side of your new journal pages. Let the pages dry, embellish, and then cover with Mod Podge. Who would ever think that this was once a phone book? I cut the flat part that you would have, see how big they are? You would have licked it down here. I cut that right off on all of them. I folded them in half. And then, because they had been already addressed, the address is on that side, I glued them like so. So now this became one page. Once it was all glued together, inked around all the edges and the new pockets that are now created, I added different embellishments on here, and I created a special keepsake journal for my girlfriend who had just recently lost her father. Another journal that I created a few weeks back, and I really like how it turned out, is a consciously thankful gratitude journal, which I read that Emily Falconbridge had made. They're also called messy journals. You might have heard of them that way. And they're just, I'm just going to let you sort of look through how it looks, because it's sort of hard to explain, but when you see how it looks, see, it's just a whole bunch of stuff, hence the word messy journal. What you do, you go through all your junk drawers at home. You may have greeting cards like these that I love these cards, and I just don't want to throw them away, but I don't want to give them to anybody because I really like them, which is so selfish, but some of the images on them are really pretty. So literally you go through your house in your junk drawers and you just pile, this would be a full sheet, 27 of anything piled one on top of the other, like so, which as you can see how I did that here. I literally went through my junk drawer. I'll find the center. The center here, this is some incense came in this bag, and I love the look of it. And again, it was just shoved in my junk drawer after I used all the incense. I ripped the little pouch and it became one sheet, so it's lying flat, so I have one of that. I have some really nice stationery that unfortunately we don't write letters anymore, but I don't want to throw it away. I have a card, another card here. I'll explain why it's all scratched up like that in a minute. More stationery, right down to the largest thing that you have. So now I've got all my 27 pieces lying flat like so. Okay? This one I did stitch up the middle, but you can attach it in any way that you want to. Any way that's easy for you. Oh, before you attach them all together, just take some cardstock here. I just had some beige cardstock, and just make a cover big enough to enclose all of your 27 pages. Now fold it in half, it becomes 52 actual pages. 27 times 2, 52. 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth, all the way up to 52. So you have a 52-page book that's all messy. On the cover here, This was a beautiful greeting card that my mother gave me. So I just glued that on top of that cardstock. Then I just painted the top part of the cardstock, or you could just lay down paper, and I just added a heart embellishment and the word thanks and wrote out gratitude. So that was my cover. It's shiny because I Mod Podged everything. So that was my cover. So now I've got my 52 pages here. And on each page you probably noticed how I've got the numbers 1 to 7 all the way down. You can take stickers that you've got, all those crappy dollar store stickers you don't know what to do with. Perfect. This is the greatest project. All the way down, they can be, I took rubber stamps here, stamped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Use your imagination. So you're probably wondering, what is all these numbers, 27, 52, 7? Well, there are 52 weeks in a year. There are 7 days of the week. So what you do when you are finished putting your book together, leave this at your bedside with a pen, and every day before you go to sleep, write down one thing that day that you're thankful for. One thing I wanted to mention, I told you I would get to, is why this is all scratched up like that. That was a greeting card, and you know how the greeting cards here are quite glossy? These ones aren't too bad, but you know how some greeting cards are glossy, you can see? I sanded it down so that when you were going to write your things you're thankful for, you were able to write on them. And a card that my husband gave me for our anniversary, there's a perfect example. I sort of sanded down the image and just used a white pen to write 1 to 7 on it. So at the end of the year, I will have this really nice gratitude journal full of all the things that I'm thankful for, and it's got really nice things that I really wanted to keep anyway. So what a great way to do it, put it in a journal. This was an envelope. It's a really pretty silver one for my daughter's wedding 5 years ago. So what you simply do is you seal it closed, just like so. And if it has a big flap here, you probably should seal that down with some adhesive too. Off just a little bit of a 1/4 of an edge there. So you've cut off that little bit there. So now you have this opening. Now you're going to score about 1/2 inch down each side and across the bottom of the envelope. So take a score line on your paper cutter and about 1/2 inch. And score it really well. In keeping with this recycling theme, I'm trying to reorganize my craft room spacers. So what I did is I went through some of my things, and I thought it might be a good idea to recycle and pass some of those things that I'm not using on to one of you. Thanks for tuning in. Percy and I hope you found some great ideas about turning your recycled trash into some treasured keepsakes. See you next time!